This month is Men's Mental Health Month. And I want to talk about this for guys because I know that it is very tough for men to be able to go and talk to a therapist. There is still a lot of social stigma and societal pressure and stuff for men not to share their feelings, that they have to be a man's man and they can't open up and stuff like that. But I'm wondering how in the year 2025 that we had the show Sopranos with a character who I look at as like a man's man, Tony Soprano. I mean, he had the money, he had the weapons, he had the job, he had the girls, he got tons of hot women. And yet that entire show is about him going to therapy. Almost every episode, he is talking to a female therapist about the struggles that he's having with his panic attacks, with his mother, his wife, his kids, this stuff that he goes through at work. And yeah, I mean, he's not 100% honest with this therapist, but he's opening up and telling her things. And they even talk about the stigma in the show of going to therapy and how, the men around him, kind of will mock, or eventually find out and mock him. And some are more concerned that he's just like telling the therapist all about their stuff. But the thing is that Tony still went. Despite knowing that other people might mock him for it, and he does hide it, he still goes. And the thing about that show is that you got a guy like Tony Soprano who's not supposed to be likable. That's the thing, okay? He is a bad person. He commits crime. He unalives people. He cheats on his wife. He's supposed to be not likable. But the fact that we're seeing that show from him going to his therapist and talking about what he deals with and the expectations of him being in that crime family and so on and so forth, it makes him likable because we see a side of him that we wouldn't normally see. And this is what guys I don't think understand, is that therapy allows you to express to people what you wouldn't normally be able to express. It allows you to work through things that you normally wouldn't be able to work through. Stuff you wouldn't be able to talk about with your friends or your family. As someone who has done therapy, because when I split from my ex and got divorced, I was going through tons of problems with chronic pain, and then there was just the loss of the divorce. I had a lot of issues that I needed to work through, and I could not talk to friends and family about this because they're always going to tell you what you want to hear, right? Most of the time, you're not going to get an honest opinion. With the therapist, they're not giving you a negative opinion or a positive necessarily, but they're going to help you work through it. They're going to help you come to the conclusions that you need to come to. So I would love it if guys gave therapy more of a chance and stop worrying about what the world is going to think because you went to therapy. Men go through a lot of stuff too. They go through relation breakups. They go through marriage breakups. They go through the losses of a family member. They go through stresses. They get depressed. They have anxiety. They have panic attacks. Men are not these solid beings that we always think that they are. And the problem is that when men don't seek out proper therapy, this is how red pill influencers like Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan get into their brains, because it's somebody that they feel, oh, somebody gets me. Somebody understands how lonely I am. Someone understands the pressures of being a man. Someone understands all of this stuff. But the problem is that they're not doing this understanding of you to help you. They're doing it because they want to create an army of angry men that hate women, are going to be forever stuck in this cycle of hate and anger. They're not helping you. They're making everything worse. And then they can make money off you because you're going to get desperate. You're going to join their university. You're going to continue to listen to their podcast. You're going to do all the stuff that makes them money. And yes, you pay a therapist, but the therapist eventually wants you to get better and leave. Their whole job is to get you better, because if they don't get you better, they're not a good therapist. They're not going to have people coming to them, right? So a therapist is there to actually ensure that you are going to succeed at life. While these red pill bros, they just want your money. They don't care. So instead of listening to the Andrew Tates and the Jordan Petersons of this world and giving them your money, seek out a therapist. And I'm telling you, if you gave therapy a chance, you would be amazed at how much it will turn your life around. I am so much of a better person now because I went to therapy and I worked it out. I mean, even if you're not comfortable actually going to, like, there's BetterHelp, which is not exactly something I'd like to, but at least it's something. At least it's something, you know? So I hope the fact that it's Men's Mental Health Month, that more men will give this a chance and consider going to therapy. Because I'm telling you, you are going to come out at the end of it a better person, being able to talk. If you're not comfortable talking with a woman, talk to a man. Find a male therapist. You know, you don't have to be Tony Soprano with a female one. And you don't have to tell people you're going either. Just go. Just lie. Say you got a bowling league or something. Like, make up a lie and just go. Because the way that the world is going right now, especially with young men being so easily influenced by red pill, like, it's like we don't, like, there's not enough people telling men that they need to, like, in a good positive way, that they need to go to therapy and stop reaching out on the internet and finding the wrong sources to deal with their anger and upset and loneliness or whatever it is that you're dealing with, right? Your stresses of the world. So you need to find healthy outlets. And Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan, those are not healthy outlets, despite what you think. So I really hope that because it's Men's Mental Health Month, that more people will talk about it and more men will consider going into therapy and helping themselves. Because, like, I'll tell you right now, a relationship, because that's what guys all seem to think, is that a relationship, they get a good woman, they'll be, no, it's not going to fix you. Another person in a relationship is not going to fix you. The only relationship you need is with a therapist. That's something that took me until I was in my early 40s to finally figure out, is that another person is never going to fulfill you in the ways that you need to be fulfilled. You have to find healthy outlets and then be content with yourself before you can ever be in a relationship with somebody else. Because if you're constantly looking for validation and fulfillment from another person, you are never going to be truly happy because you're expecting them to fulfill you in every single way. And that's what I learned through therapy and also quite a few bad relationships. But I would hope that people start learning this early on. It shouldn't take you until your 40s to figure these things out. And I wish a therapist, the thing is that I did learn this through a therapist. I went to a women's group. They had like a whole, and I did learn this. I just didn't listen. It didn't finally fucking click for me until years later. But I would hope that other people would go to therapy and maybe these things will click sooner from them and they don't have to go through a whole bunch of bad situations before they learn. But ultimately what I'm trying to say in this video is that stop letting society dictate how you help yourself. Stop letting other people determine what makes you a man and what doesn't make you a man. Because honestly, what makes you a man is making sure that you are happy and that you are healthy and that you are mentally and physically happy with yourself. And so don't let other people push you and tell you that, no, you need to have a 6-pack and a big guns and you need to have a 6-figure job and you need to have a giant, beautiful car. You need to have a perfect skinny little girlfriend and all this. No, you don't need all that stuff. You just need what you need to be happy. And if that's like whatever, then make yourself happy, but 100% give therapy a chance. My best suggestion is, even if you don't want to do the course of like one-on-one with a therapist, find some guys groups, maybe like support groups for men. If you recently, broke up from a relationship, divorce, whatever, find like divorce, a support group for divorced men. Last time I checked, they did exist. Like, find different outlets for you to find the support of people in your community, whether it's a therapist or a support group or whatever. Because honestly, these are the better routes for you. Going on the internet and thinking that Joe Rogan or Andrew Tate is going to fucking solve your problems, it's not going to happen. 100% the reason that there is a male loneliness epidemic is because you're all listening to Andrew Tate. He doesn't want you to be happy and have a relationship. He wants you to be miserable, so you keep paying him, hoping that one day you won't be miserable. That's just the truth of it. So, if you've watched this video and made it to the end, thank you. I'm glad you listened to my ramblings, and I really hope you walk away and take some good advice from this.